Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ninja Nerd Warrior podcast. My name is Greg, and I'm just going to say it right off the bat fuck this weekend. Why fuck this weekend? Because I had two shows planned. I was going to record two shows. The first one being with my friend Joe. Joe is awesome. I love her to death. Joe is a hot chick who loves horror movies. And I realized that of all my fandoms, of all my loves, I've never done a horror movie show. And so I asked Joe, hey, do you want to do this with me? And Joe, being cool as shit, said, fuck yeah, let's do this. The second show I was going to record, obviously, hey, there's this little movie that just came out called Star Wars. And I wanted to go and watch Star Wars and do a review show. But here's the problem. My computer took a shit. My recording equipment just absolutely took a complete shit. And yeah, so if you're wondering why this show started without any intro music or any of the moderate production values that normally happen, I'm recording this bitch off my phone. That's the option I'm left with. I'm doing this entire option. I'm doing this entire show off of the voice recorder on my phone. And that little fuck up right there is going to be proof because I can't edit this son of a bitch. I have to do the whole thing off voice recorder. So, fuck it. We're going to do this. I'm going to have to postpone Joe's show till I figure out what the hell's going on with my computer. But we're doing the Star Wars show. So, now, I had this whole thing planned and I had drops from Yoda and I had the music and I had everything planned and was ready to go. And then my computer gave me a giant middle finger. Now, I can still record the show, but the program that I use to normally convert the file to MP3 and then upload it to this site, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I can still record it, and I can invite all of you over to my house, and you can listen to it off my laptop, which isn't really a problem because there's only like 4 of you right now anyway. There's only 4 people listening to my shit. So, maybe I'll have a barbecue and we'll get drunk and listen to the show. But, anyway, on top of this bullshit, the lengths I had to go through to watch this movie, oh my god. All right, first off, I was off today. Okay? It's my day off. I have Friday, Saturdays off. Star Wars came out on Friday. Cool. There we go. So I decided I'm going to buy a ticket, go on Fandango, get a ticket for noon. Go watch Star Wars, go to the gym, come back, write my show, and record this. Right? Pretty safe show. See, can't edit that bitch out either. Pretty safe bet. Good plan. Let's do this. I live 20 minutes from the theater. Okay? For those of you who live in Bakersfield or familiar with Bakersfield, I got my ticket at the Edwards Theater on Ming Avenue. Cool. I live 20 minutes away. I left my house at 11:45. Because if you've been to a movie in the last 10 years, you are well aware of the fact that, yeah, showtime might be noon. You're going to get 20 or 30 minutes of fucking trailers and commercials and all that bullshit. So, leaving at 11:45 for a 12 o'clock movie, not a bad idea. However, I took Highway 58. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Bakersfield, Highway 58 sucks. This fucking freeway has been under construction since the later half of the Clinton administration. And I haven't seen one fucking thing moved since then. Now, under normal circumstances, this normally adds about 8 minutes to your drive. Max. Not today. No, not today. 45 minutes I was on this fucking freeway. 45 minutes going roughly 3 miles an hour. And needless to say, I was angry. Okay? Again, you have a roughly 20 to 30 minute leeway. So, showtime is at noon. As long as I'm at the theater by 12:30, we're good. Right? Right. At 12:20, at 12:20, I am still 25 minutes away from this theater at least. And I'm thinking, there's no way in hell I am making this showing. I've already paid for the ticket. Went on Fandango, bought my ticket. I've already paid for this damn thing. All right? So, I had to call an audible. I grab my phone. I go back onto Fandango. Now, for everyone saying you shouldn't text and drive, did you miss the part where I'm moving 3 miles an hour? Fairly certain I can pull this off without killing myself or others. Okay? I go onto Fandango. I buy another ticket for a closer theater at 12:45. Now, most people are probably asking, Greg, if there was an option for a closer theater, why didn't you take that to begin with? Here's why. Because the mall that this theater is at, there was a fucking shooting 3 weeks ago. Not in a big hurry to go back. But there's always a bright side. Since the shooting was 3 weeks ago, it's probably not going to be that crowded. So, let's do this. And somebody gets shot at this theater roughly once a year. So I think I have like 11 months. Like we're good for like 11 more months until shit breaks off. So fuck it. We're going to the Regal Theater at Valley Plaza. Or Reading Theater, where the fuck it is. Anyway. I go in this theater. And movie starts in 15 minutes. I'm the only person there. I'm the only person in this theater. And I'm going, okay. Oh, it's looking up. Things are looking up. If I can watch a Star Wars movie in a completely empty theater by myself, cool. All right. That's a happy ending. And then they walk in. I counted 2 adults and 6 fucking children. And for a split second, I'm thinking, did I walk into Frozen? Did I seriously just walk into the wrong theater? No. These fuckers were here to see Star Wars. And I'm just thinking, all right, I'm fine with this. Star Wars is meant for kids. Let's not fuck around. Star Wars is meant for kids. Fine. Kids are here to see the movie. But the moment one of them throws a fit, I am just going to switch kick the fucking parents. That's going to happen. We'll get back to that. Okay? Oh, yes. I guess I should let you know that I am going to review The Rise of Skywalker. There will be spoilers. However, the spoilers are going to be way at the end of the show. All right? I will give you ample time to turn this thing off if you have not seen the movie yet. All right? So, let's go back to the show I was writing on Thursday. Now, I've always loved Star Wars. I have loved Star Wars literally since birth. And I know people don't know how to use the word literally, but literally since birth. Here's why. Star Wars came out May of 1977. I was born June of 1977. I was, seriously, I shit you not, I was 3 days old when my parents took me to the movie theater, because my parents were those parents that bring a fucking baby into a theater. They brought me into a theater in a baby carrier. I'm 3 days old. So, I've been a geek since birth. It's been inevitable. There was no way I was ever going to be cool. Star Wars was the first movie I saw. I was 3 days old. Now, I've seriously grown up with it. And I want to say by the time I was 5, kid you not, I had seen this movie at least 100 times. I wish that was an exaggeration. At least 100 times I had seen this movie. And these were my first heroes. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, these were my heroes growing up. Okay? And not afraid to say, Princess Leia, first crush. That was my first childhood crush. Not fucking around. And so this Star Wars has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. Okay? First movie I ever remember seeing in theaters. Okay? Because uh it really was the first movie I remember, because I've clearly I'd been to movies before that, but the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was Return of the Jedi. And I don't remember seeing Empire. I'm sure I did. I'm sure my folks took me to the theaters for Empire, but I don't remember it. Return of the Jedi came out when I was 5, and I vividly remember the Ewoks, and I remember the Emperor, and I remember Princess Leia in the slave Leia bikini. That's what early puberty feels like, folks. It really does. Okay, first crush, middle bikini. Not entirely sure what's going on, but I know I like it. And again, but Star Wars has been a part of my life forever. Okay, everything I owned were Star Wars. They had these the prehistoric version of audiobooks was a was a little like paperback book with a little 45 vinyl album so you can put it on your record player. Yes, I said record player. I'm fucking old, folks. That was the prehistoric version of audiobooks today. There was no Audible back then. And I Star Wars has been a cornerstone of my life. All right. I even liked the re-releases, okay? Because Lucas came out. All right. Here's one thing I've loved, because I've researched the fuck out of Star Wars ever since I was a kid. Okay, anything that was Star Wars, I wanted to read it. I wanted to watch it. And so I remember reading these interviews with George Lucas, and when he did the special edition, the re-releases back in 94, I think it was, Lucas said, I can finally do Star Wars the way I envisioned it in my head. Here's one thing I love about George Lucas. When Lucas started making these movies, the technology didn't exist to film it the way he wanted to. So Lucas went, fuck it, I'll invent it. That's badass. That is some baller shit right there. When you have this thing you want to do, but it doesn't exist and you have to say, fuck it, I'll invent it. That's badass. All right? So a lot of the special effects Lucas invented, or Lucas hired people who invented it. All right? Which gave birth to Industrial Light and Magic. All right? This, I mean, has been the top notch special effects company in Hollywood for decades. It was all from Lucas's idea. All right? And then you come into 94, 95, and we're starting to see more computer graphics and CGI, things like that. And Lucas finally says, I can finally make Star Wars the way I envisioned it in my head. So he does the re-releases. Okay? Now, fans hated, there's a subsection of fans that hated it. Fuck you. Who gives a shit? You still had your original movies on VHS. Go fucking watch those. But people get upset. Oh my god, people get upset. He's changing my Star Wars. No, motherfucker, it's his Star Wars. Okay? Now, I know that's an unpopular opinion. I know. Don't give a shit. Okay? If the creator of something you love wants to tweak it to adhere more to his vision, guess what? He's the creator. He can do that. Okay? So if you want to get angry with me saying, no, no, we're the fans, it's ours, get angry with me all you want. Don't give a shit. It's his. I don't fucking care. But the re-releases led to the prequels. And this is when fans fucking rioted. Oh my god. The prequels came out, and Star Wars fans, a lot of them just lost their shit. They just, oh, you could hear buttholes pucker. I mean, that's how much they hated him. And I get it, okay? The prequels aren't exactly, I say this as Attack of the Clones is playing on my TV right now. Hey, TNT's fucking playing them all weekend. So, I get it, okay? I get that the prequels weren't exactly what you had in mind. You know why they weren't what you had in mind? Because you were a fucking child when you saw the originals. Okay? When you originally saw Star Wars, you thought Chicken McNuggets was a really good meal. But guess what? We all grow up. Okay? And I watched the prequels and I went, huh. Okay. Not quite where I saw that going. But I still got it. I still got. Now, again, I've researched the shit out of Star Wars. And when Lucas wrote the movie, he wrote Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as one long movie. He absolutely wrote this as one long movie. But as they're planning out how to film this thing, he realized, he's like, holy shit, this, I might have overshot my target here by a little bit. And so he just says, okay, let's make the first third. And if this thing takes off, we'll do the other two. Okay? But in order to write this movie, Lucas has said publicly in many interviews, he had to know where these characters came from. So he did a treatment that nobody else was supposed to see. He basically just did he just ran a version of his head, which later became the prequels. And that was what he used to do the prequels. Okay. Which, cool. All right, I'm fine with that. Now, here's where this went slightly off the rails. Do you realize that every time Lucas has done a Star Wars trilogy, it has taken him roughly 10 years? 10 years of his life got dedicated to this project. When he did Star Wars Empire and Jedi, 10 years of his life was dedicated to this. And here's the part that sucks. A few months after Jedi premiered, his wife filed for divorce. His wife, I mean, I don't know what happened. Don't want to know. None of my business. Okay. I do know that a few months after Jedi premiered, he got divorced. Now, what I do know is that George Lucas and his wife Marcia had been together like 14 years. They met in film school. Marcia Lucas was the only person on the planet, to this day, the only person on the planet who has ever been able to tell George Lucas, hey, this sucks, go redo it. And Lucas would go redo it. Who the fuck is going to tell George Lucas that if it's not his wife? The man had one idea. The man had one fucking idea, and it turned him into a billionaire. Again, that's badass. However, we all need that one person. We all need that one guiding light, that stabilizing force that says, hey, you're fucking up. Knock that shit off. And that's what Marcia Lucas was. Marcia Lucas was that person, that sounding board, who would read the script and say, nope, that sucks. Fucking redo it. He didn't have that person on the prequels. Starting to make sense now? Kind of pieces falling together. Why the prequels weren't quite up to par with Star Wars. Starts to make sense, yeah. Okay, but there's still moments of the prequels that are fucking amazing, okay? The prequels gave us Darth Maul. Okay. Now, I don't follow I haven't followed the Clone Wars much. I like Maul the way he was. Okay? He came in, he got Boba Fett screen time. Came in, he was badass, he left. That's it. I'm fine with that. Okay? You cannot tell me that Duel of the Fates is not the greatest John Williams song ever in the Star Wars universe. You cannot fucking tell me that. All right? The prequels had their moments of greatness. Might not have pulled it together as a trilogy, you know, not quite a home run, maybe an infield triple, but everything under everything under Lucas's watch was okay. It was fine. All right. You have those people though. You have those people who fucking hate the prequels. And I mean, they act like they came out and they said, no, the prequels ruined Star Wars. The prequels are horrible. The prequels just destroyed everything. And then Disney came in and said, hey, hold my beer. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. Okay? Disney came in. Okay. Let me explain to you. Let me kind of throw out the timeline here of what happened. Lucas comes out with the first 3 Star Wars movies. And an entire childhood for millions of people is redefined. Me being one of them. 20 years later, those kids are grown up. And Lucas says, we're doing the prequels. And those 20-year-old kids went, fuck yeah. We get more Star Wars. Fuck yeah. However, guess what? Guess what also happened in 20 years? The fucking internet. The fucking internet. Okay? And we all know how level-headed people can be on the internet, right? They never criticize shit. Here's what happens on the internet. People who like something go, cool, I like that. And they move on. People who don't like something on the internet just fucking complain. Because they have a keyboard and they have their fucking Mountain Dew code red and their Funyuns and they're not going anywhere. And that's all they're going to do is bitch and complain. Okay? So, prequels come out and it was fuck Jar Jar Binks and fuck Jake Lloyd and fuck this, fuck that. Like everyone went off and Lucas said, you know what? Fuck you. And he sells the rights. He sells everything Star Wars related to Disney for $4 billion. Billion. With a B. Capital B. He sold everything Star Wars to Disney for $4 billion. And Lucas basically said, hey, you hate the prequels? I made $4 billion. I still win. Kind of hard to argue with that logic. Really is. So Disney now has the rights to Star Wars. And they said, we're doing a new trilogy. And Star Wars fans rejoiced. See, because when Star Wars hit in the 70s, when Star Wars became this giant empire, no pun intended, in the 70s and 80s, Lucas said, well, shit, we're going to do 12 of these. And then he went, no, 3 almost killed me. Well, we're going to stop at 3. Which is why it took 20 years to make the next 3. But when Star Wars is now owned by Disney, Disney goes back and says, hey, we're doing the 12 movies that Lucas promised. And then The Force Awakens came out. And I sat there and I went, all right, this is not bad. This is not bad. Force Awakens was damn near a scene by scene rehash of Star Wars. And I was fine with that. The reason I was fine with it, the franchise is 40 years old, or close to 40 years old at this point. And you want to bring in new fans. How do you do that? You go back to everything that made the original movie great. But you do it with updated characters. You do it with Rey. You do it with Finn. You do it with Poe. I get that. I'm fine with that. I thought it was fucking genius. J.J. Abrams is very kind of hit and miss with me. I mean, J.J. Abrams has some stuff that I think is genius, and then he does some stuff that I'm like, you just phoned that in, didn't you? The second Star Trek movie, you just phoned that shit in. You want to do Khan again, and you're just like, fuck it. I got Chris Pine and Benedict Cumberbatch. What do I need? So J.J. Abrams is very kind of hit and miss with me. But Force Awakens comes out, and I went, he nailed it. That, I cannot complain about that. He nailed it. That's awesome. And then The Last Jedi came out. The Last Jedi came out. And I went, who the fuck did this? Not since Joel Schumacher has anyone fist fucked a franchise more than Rian Johnson did. I'm sorry, but that movie was horrible. Okay? Here's how I kind of encapsulate Star Wars as a franchise. Okay? You have the original 3 movies. You have Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It's like that girlfriend you meet in high school. All right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, however you want to relate this. I'm a dude, I date women. This is from my personal analogy. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But Star Wars is that girlfriend you meet in high school. And you are crazy about her. And she's good to you. And you're just like, this is it. I found it. This is going to last forever. But then the prequels came out. You and your high school girlfriend have graduated high school. You're going to different colleges. And you have to sit there and you have to go, okay. It's a little different. Kind of have to grow up a little bit. But it's still not bad. And then Force Awakens comes out. You and that girlfriend have graduated college. You both have scored some pretty good jobs. And you're living back in the same city. And you remember how great things used to be. And you're excited because you're back. I mean, you two are back there. And you're like, this is what I've been missing. This is everything I've been missing. And then The Last Jedi came out. And if I had to compare this to anything, you and that girlfriend are doing great. Go to a Christmas party. She has a little too much to drink and punches you in the neck. Because that's what The Last Jedi did. The Last Jedi was just a fucking punch in the neck. And now you don't know if you can trust her again. You didn't know she was diagnosed bipolar when she was in college. You had no idea. And you're sitting there going, do I stay? Possibly get punched in the neck again? Or am I fucking done? That's Star Wars. Sorry, folks. Just how I see Star Wars now. The Last Jedi came out. And it was... Okay, overall, the plot was... It was a 2-hour slow-speed car chase. Rian Johnson took the OJ chase and fucking did it in space. You just have you have the rebel fleet who is running out of gas. They are running out of fuel. They're going like half speed, and the Empire is just behind them going, just keep going. The Empire was the LAPD. We don't want to catch them. We just want to keep them in view until they run out of fuel. That's basically what this was. Okay? And let's skip the fact that people managed to leave. Finn and Rose managed to leave the fucking chase and go to another planet. And the LAPD Empire behind them went, fuck them. Just let them go. Let's forget the fact that Leia was blown out of the command, off the bridge of a command ship, and Mary Poppins her way back into the ship. Everybody hated Luke Skywalker. Hated Luke Skywalker in that movie. And sadly, I looked at Luke and went, I get it. Because, and here's another thing. I don't know if this was done on purpose or not. I really hope this was done on purpose. But I don't think it was. Because Rian Johnson showed the rest of that movie was just utter fucking shit. So I doubt he did this on purpose. But Luke is just this bitter old fuck. He is just this grizzled, bitter. He's Nick Nolte. he's basically Nick Nolte in every part Nick Nolte's ever played. Just hungover and fuck this, I'm done. And if you look at Luke's arc through the entire franchise, he starts out like this bright-eyed little kid, and then he grows up and he's this dutiful, loyal, honorable man. And somehow he went from that to this just grizzled, bitter old fuck. And I laughed because I'm going, holy shit, there's a small portion of Star Wars fans that followed that same arc. They started out as kids, and then they went to see the prequels because, this is Star Wars, I love this, I'm loyal. And the prequels just kicked them in the taint, and now they're just bitter and angry at everything. And I'm just like, oh my god, please tell me that was done on purpose. Because if it was done on purpose, I might forgive Rian Johnson for the rest of the shit he put in that movie. But if that wasn't done on purpose, if that was an accident, fuck Rian Johnson. So, that's where we are, folks. That's Star Wars. That's pretty much where I'm at. And then I went to see this movie. And, alright, now, I have given you guys roughly 30 minutes, 30 plus, about 33 and a half, of my take on Star Wars and what it's meant to me, because I still do love Star Wars. I really do. I'm never more hype than right before it. And guess what? I didn't hate Rogue One. I didn't hate Solo. I thought Solo was great. All right, great's a little strong. Solo was really, really good. Okay? Most people hated it. Okay? You know why they hated it? Because it's not Harrison Ford. Well, guess what? It wasn't going to be Harrison Ford. Okay? But we've gone through this. All right? When Batman was no longer Michael Keaton, people hated it. Okay? When James Bond was no longer Sean Connery, people hated it. Han Solo is that level of iconic character. And he's only been played by one man. He's been played by Harrison Ford the entire run of the franchise. And I'm going to predict this right now. Whoever comes in to play Wolverine, God bless that guy. Okay? Because people are going to fucking hate him. No matter who it is, whoever steps into Hugh Jackman's shoes is going to catch a world of shit. Same thing. Same thing like Han Solo. Okay? I thought, is it bad that I can't even remember the actor's name that played Han Solo? Wow, I'm an asshole. I probably should have researched that. But I didn't think I was going to be talking about Solo that much. But I thought he did a great job. I thought he did a great job as a very young, naive Han Solo. Fuck it, that guy was awesome. Okay, but again, I'm never more hyped than right before a new Star Wars movie comes out. Up until Last Jedi. Now I'm cautious. Okay, so now I've given you 35 minutes. We're gonna move into The Last Jedi. So, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Everything I say from this point on is going to be a fucking spoiler about Rise of Skywalker. So, you have no reason to get angry for me because you're still listening. All right. So, Rise of Skywalker. Oh, fuck. Where do we begin? Okay. I knew right off the bat this movie was going to be damage control. That's what this was going to be, all right? When Abrams took over the franchise, he had an idea of where he wanted these three movies to go. Can't remember what Abrams jumped on that he couldn't do Last Jedi. I can't remember. But he signed on to another movie, which is how Rian Johnson ended up with doing the second one. I bet they realize how badly they fucked up now. Because Rian Johnson said, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. All right? Now, we all know somebody like that. We all know somebody that says, I do what I want. Has that person ever not fucked shit up? Think about that for a second. Everybody knows that one person who says, nope, I do what I want to do. How often does that work out for him? Just saying. So, Abrams comes back, and Abrams was just like, what the fuck, man? You had one job to do. You had one job. I left you instructions. You fucked it up. So now Abrams has to come in and kind of right the ship, I guess. He's got to get back on course to where this trilogy was going. And now you have to do it with a shit ton of angry fans. You have to do it with an army of critics who want this movie to fail. And you have to do this movie without Carrie Fisher. Which is still a punch in the soul, folks. I'm sorry. Carrie Fisher died. Okay, I'm going to tell this story real quick. I know I tangent a lot and I can't edit any of this shit out. First podcast I ever did. First solo podcast I ever did was on a show called 10 Forward Lounge. Okay, I talk about it a little bit in my first Ninja Nerd Warrior show. But the first episode I ever did was on Rogue One. And I made a Carrie Fisher joke when they had the Carrie Fisher CGI puppet for like the last 8 seconds or whatever it was. I made a Carrie Fisher joke. Between the time I recorded the show and the time I posted the show, Carrie Fisher died. And so I went, nope, not leaving that one in. So I had to go back and edit that out. And honestly, I did feel like shit. So that's still kind of a punch in the soul. Anyway, you have to do this movie without Carrie Fisher. So, did we pull it off? I guess. Can't really call it a win, but it's not an epic fail. Alright, so the movie starts out with Kylo Ren. He's decided he's the big bad in the galaxy. And apparently Palpatine left a voicemail from the dead because the crawl says the dead speak. So everybody knows Palpatine's alive. How's Palpatine alive? No idea. They never told us. They never fucking told. Is he a clone? Did he survive that fucking fall, like a 100-story fall in the Death Star? And if he did, how did he survive the explosion? What the fuck? Nobody told us. So right off the bat, I'm going, All right, that's not good. And I think they seriously brought Palpatine back so that we would forget that Last Jedi was just a turd in the punch bowl. I really think they just went, fuck it, let's bring Palpatine back. How are we going to bring him back? Don't know. Not important. So Kylo Ren searches the galaxy, finally finds Emperor Palpatine. All right? And I'm not going to lie, the design for that character was badass. It really was. It was just like horror movie level shit. He was Bram Stoker's Palpatine. He looked fucking evil. And I'm like, all right, okay. Depending on where this goes, this might not be bad. And then we go to Rey, who's floating. She is okay. Now, for a split second, I thought she had trained herself. She had trained herself in the Jedi arts. Totally fine with this. Because who trained Luke after Yoda was gone? Okay, we've established you can train if you have a good enough start, you can train yourself. I'm okay with this. All right? And she's floating and she's making rocks float around her and kind of a cool visual. And then we saw Leia. Wait, did Leia train her? How the fuck did Leia train her? Because up to this point, we've never seen Leia trained as a Jedi. And I went, oh, fuck you. Now, one could argue that, well, she was in the books, she was stop. You mean the books that Disney wiped off the table and said, nope, these don't exist anymore. We're not doing these. All right, where was I? Sorry, folks, even though I can't edit, I can pause, and there's people outside talking outside my window, and so I might have to pause this if they get too loud. But anyway, all right, so where were we? Yes, Leia did train as a Jedi in the books. Disney wiped the books off the table and said, nope, don't exist anymore. We're writing the story from now on. But wait, hold on. So in your universe, Leia never trained as a Jedi until the third movie. But now she's continuing Rey's training. Fuck you. Fuck you. You guys are again, this is all damage control. All right? Everybody finds out Palpatine's alive. Okay? Kylo finds Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine says, here, I have an armada. And he just raises 1,000 fucking Star Destroyers. You're telling me nobody noticed that 1,000 Star Destroyers was being built? All right, let's go with it. Fuck it. That's okay. All right. Okay, 1,000 Star Destroyers, no big deal. Okay. The Resistance finds out that Palpatine is still alive, and he is on this one planet that nobody's ever heard of before. So now we have to find the planet that Palpatine's on. Except nobody's ever heard of this planet. Except Rey. Rey goes to one of Luke's books. Hey, look. I don't know where it's at, but here, there's a clue on this planet that we have to go to. And once we find the clue on this planet, we can go to that planet. This is a scavenger hunt, folks. The Star Wars franchise is ending on a scavenger hunt. So Leia dispatches Rey and Finn and Poe and 3PO for some reason, and their new little cone-headed alien that looks like a cheerleader's little megaphone bullshit. And they have to go to planet Burning Man to find the spaceship of this guy that Luke was looking for 20 years ago. And the ship is just there. Folks, you can't leave a car parked in my neighborhood without it for 3 days without it being stolen or stripped. But apparently, you can leave a spaceship on planet Burning Man for 20 years and it's fine. All right, let's go with that. So we go to planet Burning Man and we're looking for they even said a clue. We're looking for a clue. Am I watching Scooby-Doo? What the fuck? They're looking for a clue. In a 20-year-old spaceship. Who do they find? Bloated Lando Calrissian. Really? Okay. Alright. And for some reason, every time, no matter where Rey ends up, the First Order's right behind him. So, of course, I did laugh. Because again, this planet was Burning Man. Don't fuck around. That's exactly what this was. And I think it was Poe who says, there's always First Order guards here. So cops. There's always cops at a festival. No shit. I've been to enough concerts and festivals. Yeah, the cops aren't that far behind. Never. So First Order catches up to him. Captures Chewbacca. And as Chewbacca's flying away, Rey, who for some reason is the greatest Jedi in the galaxy now, is able to stop the the transport, with the Force. She's able to stop a First Order transport with the Force, bring it down. That is some video game bullshit. We have never seen that in any Star Wars movie ever. All right, let's go with it. Here comes Kylo Ren. Was Kylo trying to pull it down or force it back up? I have no idea what the hell he was trying to do. Okay? But they're having a tug of war over this transport. And all of a sudden, you see Force lightning come out of Rey's hand and destroy the transport. And I said, really? Is that how we're killing Chewbacca? He was killed on an oops. And I was just about to say, okay, let's go with it. But do any of you know how Chewbacca dies in the books? He was hit by a planet. That shit's real. They're trying to, I don't remember, they're evacuating him and I can't remember, because in the books, Luke and Leia, that'd be creepy. Han and Leia have 2 kids, Jaina and Jason Solo. Okay? I don't remember if they're twins or not. I don't think they're twins. But Han and Leia have 2 kids, Jaina and Jason. Jason and Chewie are dispatched to a planet to evacuate because their moon's orbit is collapsing or some shit like that. And somehow the moon is just about to collide with the planet. Chewie pushes Jason into the transport, closes the door, the transport takes off, and Chewbacca's hit by a fucking moon. That's how he died in the books. So dying in the movies on an oops, not that dumber. Not that much dumber. No. All right. Okay, I'm still in this. Let's do it. Okay, we can keep going. Smash cut to 3 scenes later, Chewbacca's alive. He was on another transport that we did not see. All right, let's go with it. However, Chewbacca had the dagger that was engraved with instructions to this planet that had... Was it a Sith holocron? Because you can't say holocron. Because you got to pay George Lucas for that. This Sith USB drive, where the fuck it was, I don't know. Which tells them where Emperor Palpatine is at. Okay, now, let's recap. They had to go to planet Burning Man to get this clue, which led them to a planet that had a holocron USB port that would lead them to the Emperor. This movie's a fucking scavenger hunt. It is. But they've lost the dagger. They've essentially lost the doubloon that the Goonies were using to find this fucking One-Eye Willie ship. That's basically what this is at this point. And R2 says, R2, my fault, C-3PO says, yeah, the only place those symbols exist anymore is in my memory bank. Because C-3PO was looking at it. And they all look at him and they said, what? Wait, you remember it? And he says, yeah, I remember it. But it's in a forbidden language, therefore I can't retrieve it. Huh? So you're telling me if he's the fucking droid that is fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, has forbidden languages, his VPN will not allow him. All right, let's go with it. And then somebody says, hey, I know a guy who can basically jailbreak C-3PO. C-3PO was they had to jailbreak him like a fucking Android phone, ironically. So that's what they did. Meanwhile, we have to go to another planet to jailbreak C-3PO to find out how to get to this planet with the Sith Holocron USB flash drive to find Emperor Palpatine. Okay. I guess we're going to go with it. And we go to that planet. Rey and Kylo are still doing their little psychic fucking whatever. Kylo says, oh, you're on this planet. Heads down there. They end up on his Star Destroyer looking for Chewie. Because Rey knows Chewie's alive. So they've switched spots. Now, the trailers up to this point have said that Rey is going to end up part of the dark side. And I'm going, they're doing a double turn, aren't they? You wrestling fans can appreciate that. They're doing a double turn. Kylo's turning babyface, Ren's turning heel. That'd be awesome. No, not so much. But they're doing their little psychic lightsaber duels wherever. And Kylo just tells Rey, oh, by the way, you're a Palpatine. What? Really? This is Palpatine. Everybody has been speculating for 10 years who's Rey's parents. Was it Luke? Was it Leia? You'd think Leia would remember having another kid, just saying. Was it Obi-Wan? Who were Rey's parents? Palpatine. Fucking Palpatine. Okay. This is my point, folks. You cannot tell me this was not damage control. Okay, you guys made this shit up after The Last Jedi just swirled the bowl and flushed. That you cannot tell me this shit was not made up. All right, since I've already spoiled 2/3 of the movie, I'm going to stop there. Okay, and I'm going to let you... Now, again, it might not sound like it, but I did enjoy this movie. I did. Okay? I went in, I'm not gonna lie, I went in expecting the drizzling shits. I expected The Last Jedi. Again, the last movie punched me in the neck in front of my parents at Christmas. Okay? That was basically what happened. All right. I was not looking forward to this movie. And when I came out of it, I went, all right. There were some great moments. They brought back John Williams. I don't know if any of you noticed, but there were some John Williams songs. Uh, and let's face it, John Williams wrote the soundtrack of my childhood. Every Star Wars movie, every Star Wars uh, soundtrack that you love, John Williams wrote. Okay, Jaws, Spider Man, God damn it, Superman. Not editing that out. Superman, E.T. Like John Williams wrote all of those soundtracks, and so to hear Williams come back for this one, all right, we're home again. We're home. All right. I walked out of this movie saying, all right, it wasn't horrible. Wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. Considering what Abrams had to come back to and what he was left to work with, there was absolutely no footage of Carrie Fisher for this movie. Carrie Fisher did not film one scene for this movie. What they did was they took scenes from the first two that got edited out and they just repurposed them. And when you see the role that Leia has in this movie, great job. I will say that. Great fucking job. So, all in all, if we're rating this on thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, I am going to give Star Wars Rise of Skywalker a thumbs in the middle. It wasn't the original trilogy. It wasn't Last Jedi. It was decent. I'm probably going to buy this one. Okay, that's another thing. I own every Star Wars movie on Blu-ray except Last Jedi. I own Rogue One. I own Solo. I own every Star Wars movie on Blu-ray. I own it. I'm actually looking at Solo right now. Solo's on my dresser. So I would recommend this. I would. I would tell you not to get your hopes up, but I would definitely recommend this movie. So with that said, I'm going to call it quits. I'm already running on like an hour, and I've been walking around my bedroom recording this shit on my phone for an hour now. So thank you guys so much. Again, I do apologize for the sound quality and everything, but again, like J.J. Abrams, I'm working with what I got. God damn it. If you found this, you already know where to find me, but I'll go ahead and plug my shit anyway. You can find me, I am the Ninja Nerd Warrior, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find my podcast, clearly, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and Radio Public. I'm working on Apple Podcasts right now, so as soon as I get that up, I will let you guys know. And I am doing stand-up, of course. We actually have 5 open mics a week. So if you're in the Bakersfield area, you can come out to Great Change Brewery on Monday. You can come out to Quip on Tuesday. Tuesday, we also have an open mic at Jerry's Pizza. Wednesday night, we have Tembler Brewing Company, and Thursday, we have the Rocket Shop Cafe. All shows start at 7, except for Jerry's Pizza, which starts at 8. Come on out and support the Bakersfield comedy scene. We have a bunch of guys out there who are working their ass off. They are funny as shit. So just come out. All the shows are free, so you can come out and you can support us. I'm also on a show in Fowler. I am doing Julian Aguilera's birthday roast. He decided for his birthday he wanted to have a bunch of comics sit around and talk shit about him. That's always going to end well. And that's going to be December 27th. And then on January 16th, I am doing the Last for a Cause show, hosted by Jessica De La Garza. And I'm actually going to do a show with Jessica here pretty soon in the next week or so. if I can get my computer working. We're going to be promoting that show. So I got a lot of shit going on. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really hope, because you guys have been putting up with me for about an hour. That being said, thank you guys for putting up with my Star Wars rant. I'm going to record that show with Joe here pretty soon. And again, like I said, I'm going to get that show with Jessica. So I do have some stuff coming up. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you for hanging out there, and you guys take care. Bye bye.